We are Sorted, a combination of foodies and chefs who have been mates for years, looking for game-changing food and travel experiences. Today we're in New Orleans to discover fantastic local food and research what makes a po' boy so good. At the end of the trip, Barry, Mike and Jamie will go head-to-head in an ultimate po' boy battle.
First po' boy of the day, we've come to the French Quarter of New Orleans to Killer Po' Boys, one of the most highly recommended places for po' boys, and in true Sorted style, we've gone for the opposite of traditional.
I mean, I probably don't need to tell you that that is quite sweet and sticky. You can see from the shine and the glaze, but the warmth of the ginger is really nice to offset that, the chew of the pork, the crunch of the bread.
I'm just going to remake this for my battle.
But I still don't know what makes it officially a po' boy. So we need to go and find tradition, classic, and more po' boys this section.
And that's exactly what Jamie and Ben did.
Po' boys, po' boys, po' boys, po' boys, po' boys, horse, horse! It's already incredibly different to the first one that we had. No soggy bottoms, no tons of sauce.
So loads of crispy fried oyster, but on the inside it is melted butter.
It's delicious, and I love the simplicity of it.
So Baz and I have come to the Uptown, specifically Magazine Street, which is just an amazing street with cool bars, boutique shops. We've got a ton of restaurants here, so we're just gonna see what we can get through.
The first being Turkey and the Wolf.
You guys told us to go for the fried bologna sandwich, and it's just turned up and, well, look at it. I don't know what bologna is, if I'm honest, so I've got to try it before I tell you what it is. But it's got bologna, it's got some American cheese, it's got, like any great sandwich, it's got crisps or chips inside of it.
Really recognisable flavours, all comes together really well. It's just, yeah, really satisfying to eat.
I really like that place.
We came to New Orleans a few years ago, and I think it's fair to say it's held a special place in our hearts ever since.
All that time ago we said yes when we had an invitation from Jordan and her family to spend some time with them and to get their local recommendations, and we've realised playing by these rules, it is the best way to travel.
It really opens up everything to be able to create game-changing moments.
So we compiled a list of local New Orleans dishes you on social media said we should eat. We split into teams and tried to cover off as many as possible.
It's not every city you can walk down the street and just have live music playing out of a bar, with a bar on the street as well. I think I love this place.
So, first off Jay and Ben's list, jambalaya and crawfish etouffee.
So etouffee is a literal translation for smothered or smothering, and it's kind of a cooking technique where here the crawfish is smothered in all of those classic Creole Cajun flavours.
I love the crunch of the spring onion that you get in there as well.
The red beans and rice, so I've read, it's a Monday thing.
I don't know
We're
why.
doing it on a Sunday too.
You cannot go wrong with jambalaya. Cannot go wrong with it.
That's the chicken jambalaya. But they forget to mention there's also shrimp in there, there's also sausage in there, it's tomato, it's spicy. It's absolutely delicious.
Gumbo. Tick one off the list.
Get in.
Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, this is gumbo number one. A gumbo is like a really dark, deep, rich stew, and I know that includes all the words that we're not allowed to say here on Sorted, but it's true.
All you get straight away, it's rich and earthy. It hits you in the back of the throat straight away, but then it starts to mellow out.
It's absolutely delicious. It just is a bit of a shock straight away for someone like me.
Oyster and Cajun caviar po' boy. I know we've only had like a few po' boys so far, but already the bread I think might be the most important thing. Crunchy French roll, it's buttered and toasted on the inside, still crispy on the out. The oysters are beautifully fresh and fragrant, but with the greasy, crispy outside to them, it melts in your mouth, but with a crunch.
I wish I could individually control my limbs in such a fantastic way. I thought Jamie was distracted by the artwork of musical instruments. It was just the still lifes.
Trumpets. Something about trumpets. Art. We come to the French market, which is a really famous part of New Orleans because it has loads of really great fresh produce, some artisan producers, and also we've been told that we might be able to get some alligator.
And anything else we can tick off the list. I'm all about the pointer.
Turns out that's an alligator sausage on a stick.
But the guy has been doing it for like 12 years and he smokes them overnight for 12 hours and then reheats them on the grill. It's got a much softer texture. I don't know if that's because it's been smoked and heated slower, but it's a less firm sausage than some of the others.
It's more like a traditional pork sausage.
It's such a nice little road, isn't it? It's a proper hidden gem.
I'm really confused. We're like just outside of like the main bit of New Orleans. There's very little else around, yet there's a massive queue for sno-bliz. Right, we're at Hanson's sno-bliz, and Hanson was the first person who patented the shaved ice machine. They make snowballs, which is shaved ice flavoured with syrup, which is famous to New Orleans.
So this was a crawfish beignet. Crawfish is on our list, and beignets are on our list, so surely we get twice as many points or
2
wins.
points, and as far as I'm concerned, the rules say yes. A beignet batter, which is like a dough kind of almost choux pastry base, with crawfish and all the etouffee kind of spices in it, then fried, and then served with a roasted corn sauce. Incredible.
I'm actually getting a bit worried about our challenges, mate.
We've lost. We've been to like 4 places. We've stood in our...
This is our third. We've just been 3 places.
I think one thing I've learned is if you're in a city, it is worth just finding some time without plans to wander. Because here we are at the end of Bourbon Street, which is one of the more famous streets in New Orleans. And yet you come to the end of it, and one street over, you're in a residential area. It's quiet, it's tranquil, and it's beautiful. So many different forms of architecture again, and every house looks interesting and cool.
It's amazing, they've got a James one, and they've got an Evers one.
But I'm going to say, you looked better.
1 hour in 34-degree heat. You better be good. This is called a creamy rainbow. That's not as sweet as I thought it was going to be. That's actually got some real flavour to it. Cream of nectar tastes delicious.
Ah!
Oh! It's in my eyes. That was the worst brain freeze I've ever had.
And here we have watermelon, mint and rosemary. A bit more sophisticated than yours, right?
Rosemary?
Yeah, rosemary. Like the herb.
What?
I know. It's sweet. It's refreshing. It's a cross between a granita and a slush puppy.
It's so refreshing and so cool and just delicious. Yeah, the tables have turned now. Look at it!
Time for another po' boy. We've come out of French Quarter, we've driven a couple of miles, we've got to mid-city, bottom of the Bayou, and we've come to Parkway Tavern, which loads of people have recommended as having some of the most traditional and classic po' boys in the whole of New Orleans.
100 years in the making.
What we've been told is that roast beef and gravy is the most traditional type of po' boy you can get, back from 1929. But it's missing something.
This is going to get messy.
Cheers! That is one of the best beef stews I've had in a very, very long time. And some genius decided to put that into a sandwich.
On top of all of that beef, which is just melt in the mouth, there are still the pickles, still the tomatoes, still the lettuce, still the mayo, and still that classic French style bread.
It's good, I might try.
Now we're giving local recommendations. So the question is, how many stretch marks on your po' boy tomorrow?
I saw a sign in the Parkway Tavern that really got me thinking. It was a po' boy that they made last year that won the best po' boy of the Po' Boy Fest 2018. And I wonder whether that's the right way forward.
It was the last stop of the day for Baz and I as we desperately tried to cram in some precious points.
I have nailed it.
Thank you very much. So not only is this an alligator sausage, 1 point, it's also covered in etouffee, which is, I think, a bit like gumbo, but it's using a light roux and it's thicker. Let's eat it, because I don't really know what it tastes like. So that alligator tastes spicy. It's a bit like chorizo, but not as oily, and still tastes really sausagey. Right, that's really nice.
The texture of it is a bit like chicken, but it falls apart a bit like fish.
Alligator sausage is amazing. That's really tasty. It's also not a po' boy.
Still not a po' boy.
Baz has just received a text from Jamie. Him and Ben have found a place for dinner.
So earlier today we met this guy called Lewis. He was here with his wife. It was their 60th wedding anniversary. They've been coming here every year for the last 40 years. So we had to ask him, if you could recommend only one restaurant in the whole city of New Orleans, what would it be? And he said, we have to come to the Commander's Palace and ask for a table in the garden room.
Commander's Palace is a high-end New Orleans favourite, serving up fine dining takes on local cuisine.
Jamie's not really sure how to act here.
I don't want to spill anything down his shirt.
We had incredible boudin stuffed quail, barbecued Gulf shrimp with a crisp romaine salad.
I know.
A salad.
Salad. It's my first one ever, and it's actually...
Then the restaurant's famous Banana Fosters.
Banana Fosters is a classic dish that originated here, literally just next door. Proper theatre at the table. Brown sugar and butter melt into a pan with some banana liqueur. Then the bananas go in, they soften, they cook, the sugars caramelise, then rum, flambé, and then over the ice cream. And it's just such a classic to New Orleans. Let's be honest, we knew that was going to work, but you don't realise how well it works until you actually taste it.
That's a good option too.
It has the most ridiculous super banana flavour, like a really concentrated banana.
And the secret little touch, which is what we're all smelling now, is once it's flambeing, ground cinnamon. And it kind of sparkles and flares up, and you get this amazing smell in the room. And then every other diner turns around and says, we want Banana Fosters too.
And to top off an unreal day, we headed to Frenchman Street for street music, live jazz, and an unforgettable night.
To the nobles from New York, you know you do. Right there, gotta feel it. My homie getting a video. This is off at the top, you know, but serious flow. Got my brother with the lumberjack, way in the back. He got his hands up in the air, yo. This is where we be rocking on French.
And our night was made complete by a reunion with an old friend.
There she is, there she is. We got to feel it when we coming on through.